Welcome back to Wake Up and Ball on Roundtable Sports Network, brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Dow. We're going to have an interesting Tony Dow today after last night's Monday night matchup between the LA Rams and the Miami Dolphins. We're going to get into all you need to know across the NFL, across the NBA, across the sports world. This is episode number 2 of Wake Up and Ball right here on Roundtable Sports. You guys can expect this show to be live Monday through Friday at 8:30 EST AM. Tony, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing amazing. Just what a beautiful day. I'm excited about this day. You know, new beginnings for certain teams around the just in the sports world altogether, man. Listen, I know we're going to get into it. Last night's game was amazing. I'm excited to talk about it, but I'm more excited about everybody who's waking up to ball with us in the morning. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all punch that like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel and subscribe right now to Roundtable Sports, where you can wake up and ball with Richie and myself, TD. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man, we appreciate it because yesterday's episode, which was episode number 1, was definitely a big time episode. We were overwhelmed with the support on episode number 1. You guys absolutely killed it. Let's see if we can match that. All right, 250 likes is the goal because that's what we hit last week. That's yesterday, excuse me. So let's get into business. We got everybody in the chat. We got Knock, Andrew, Glenn, Dom, JD the Great as usual. Nice. 187. Pat's Global needs tips for sleeping. Breath work is my tip. JD the Great wants to be a mod. You could be a mod on here, of course, man. So without further ado, I guess we got to start it off with that. But before we do that, we got to give another shout out to BetUS Sportsbook because they are the number 1 online sportsbook on the face of the planet. They continue to be the proud sponsor of this channel all season long. And the Miami Dolphins covered the spread last night. They were actually the underdogs. So if you guys put some bets on the Miami Dolphins, you benefited. So congratulations to the Miami Dolphins fans. We're going to get into the Miami Dolphins first and foremost. But before we do that, I do want to look at the odds already that it's set up for this week. So you got the Commanders and the Eagles. Big game on Thursday night. 3.5-point underdogs. Yeah. The Commanders are in Philadelphia. We're going to get into that. A lot of interesting matchups in week number 11 across the NFL landscape. So again, guys, use the promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% bonus, 125% on your next 2 deposits, up to $2,000. All right, that is BetUS, the number 1 online sports book. We're going to get into those odds all show long. All right, TD, you did it. Congratulations. The Miami Dolphins won a football game. Why don't you break down what you saw from this Miami Dolphins team last night?
You know what? I saw a team victory. I saw, a lot of good things on, on both sides of the football. To be quite honest with you, the Miami Dolphins started out rough, man. Tua, looked like he was about to have one of those games where he was going to blow it for the team. That first half, throwing a terrible interception, the Rams dropping 2 other interceptions, a fumble that you couldn't recover from as well. It just looked like it wasn't going to go the right way. Waddle dropping easy first down passes. Well, a pass. I don't want to say passes. A pass. So, but the defense kept us in the game. The defense did exactly what they did with Buffalo last week in that first half, holding the other team to only 6 points at halftime. And from there, it was just a matter of the offense taking care of business in the second half. And that they did, okay? The offense came out. Was it explosive? Was it crazy? No. But it was enough to get the game, get the victory in the game. Like I said, the defense held us down all night. They kept us ahead, and that's what it's about. When you got help from the defensive side of the ball, you can win games. I was overwhelmed. I was actually shocked, man, that the defense was able to do what they were able to do. Stafford still had some yards, put it up with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Not crazy, but they had a, productive day. But overall, the Dolphins did a good job not allowing them to just gash us crazily with the run. So I want to give the victory more so to the defense, also to Coach Mike McDaniel. This was one of the fewest. I think we had 1 penalty all game, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where we lose the game. We typically lose games like this because we riddle it with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 penalties. McDaniel had the team well coached, well prepared, and disciplined, and that's something that definitely needed to be fixed. I also saw halftime adjustments by Mike McDaniel. First half, those raggedy bubble screens weren't working. Second half, I don't know if he even called one. Maybe one, but I don't recall him actually going back to it, which was a positive because he can ride it out for a full game, all right? So, and, you know, I know everybody want to know, hey, what you think about Tua's performance? Again, Tua didn't look good in the first half. In the second half, he didn't look spectacular, but here's what I will tell you. He made enough plays to contribute to the team winning. Okay. You know, some critical 3rd and 19s, pressure bearing down on them, rolling out, escaping from it, finding Mostert for the first down, critical 3rd down play, Malik Washington for about 17 yards on the left side, outside the numbers in the zone coverage. Just making some really nice plays to help seal the win. So, you know, Tua overall, I give him like I'll give him a 6.8 out of 10 yesterday, which is good enough. You know, you want him to be over a 7, but, you know, when you play the better teams in the league, he's going to have to be better. But overall, it was enough to help get the win. He didn't blow the game. The team won despite his poor first half performance. But overall, he made up for it by making some plays late in the game to secure the victory and not give the ball back to the Rams, you know, to take the tying drive. So overall, Dolphins 1 game at a time, good win. We're about to go on a run, Richie. We're about to go on a run. The next 2 automatic W's, and that's 5 and 6, and then we go to Green Bay, and we'll worry about that when it comes. Fins up no matter what. Let's go.
Automatic wins? That's what we're at now?
Yeah, well, remember, it's the Raiders and the Patriots. Those are teams that we don't play no games with. That's easy.
Yeah, man, you are completely turning into exactly what you shouldn't be right now. You are getting ahead of yourself. You're not getting humble.
Oh no, we're not the Jets. We're not the Jets. So
that win last night is exactly what happened with the Jets. You know what happened with the Jets? You remember? Recently, what happened with the Jets?
Yeah, you won a little game. Yeah, and then you got smoked.
What was that? Oh, it was a primetime game against a good team, a better team actually than the Rams. We won that game, right? And what did that do? That sucked some people in. Not me, but it sucked some people in thinking that they can go on a run. And you are going in that same exact situation right now. Oh, by the way, you should be winning with the talent you have, with the coaching staff you have. It's about time. Congratulations. But now you're getting sucked back in just to be absolutely heartbroken. So as a friend of mine, I'm looking after for you. Stop looking ahead. I heard you on your show last night. Oh, we're going on a run. We're not losing. Playoffs. Relax. Stay present, TD. Take it game by game. Don't think that game is all of a sudden going to, spearhead you guys into this historical run and go on a playoff run, man. You got to be grounded. You got to be humble. Why can't you do that?
Richie, I didn't say, I'm not going too far. I just said 1 game at a time. I mean, like after the next 2, because we don't lose
you're
to the
looking
Patriots.
ahead. You got to be looking at this week and not looking past that week, because you think now you saw 1 successful football game from your team that's going to be a guarantee. Let's not forget, how many games have you played this season?
We've played 9 games.
And how many games in those 9 games have you looked like a bad football team compared to being a good football team?
We were without our quarterback.
Okay, the games with Tua, how many games have you looked good? More bad than good, which is my point. So just because you look
1. We look good versus the Bills. We just lost. They look better.
Oh yeah, you look great against the Bills. Your first
the
game.
second time.
Yeah,
well, that was early in the season, Richard.
Oh, early in the season. Okay. The reality is this. You should be beating up on the Los Angeles Rams. You should have been doing this from the start. Okay?
That's true.
The reality is now you're getting sucked in to the delusion that the Miami Dolphins are back to this, team that can actually compete for a playoff spot. Your season's done. I told you yesterday, what's a win going to do? Don't do what?
Is your season done?
Yeah.
You give up because you don't have any faith in them. I have faith in my team. I believe that we might do something
it's actually
special.
Just being an objective fan and seeing the reality of the situation here. There's a difference between having faith and being delusional, man.
How many losses y'all got, Richie?
It doesn't matter how many losses you have. We have 1 more loss than you. 1. And 1 more win than you.
See, that's the difference. One more loss for y'all. Y'all might be mathematically eliminated.
We technically have a better probability to make the playoffs still.
Oh, what's the new probability?
You have a 7% chance. The Jets have 13%.
No, we got 8. See, that's because they still have. That's only because they have the Jets the favorite over us, and that's where they're mistaken.
That's not the reason. You just need to really come down. And I was going to test you today. I'm like, okay, what's TD going to be like after winning a game finally under, Tua? And this is what you do. I expected better from you. You got to be able to stay grounded and realize that it's too little, too late. You literally have to win every single game for the rest of the season.
That's not true. We still have room to lose one. That's all I'm saying to you. We still got room to lose one. Y'all don't have room. Y'all got to go undefeated. We still have room to lose one. And when you look at our schedule, if we play our best version of football, we can end this season only losing one game.
But that's not happening.
Why? I mean, it says who? I mean, you just
because look at what the Miami Dolphins have shown us this season. What have they proved that they can just now that you beat up on the LA Rams once? Now you think you can win? Every game for the rest of the season by losing one?
I'm not saying that, Richie. All I'm saying to you this morning is I'm not going to give up hope. I think it's important for Dolphin fans to give Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, Tua Tagovailoa the proper opportunity to dig themselves out of the hole that they dug. And if they do, that's a good sign for the future. But right now, it is not fair to just say, oh, it's done. Oh, I know that the chances are tough. But there's a chance, and we got to give these guys an opportunity to show their value. And that's what we're going to do. Tua, opportunity. Let's go get it. Let's go do something you have never done in the NFL before. And if you can do that, people can change their thought process of you. It'll be the ultimate growth. And now it's time to move forward with you. But until he fails, you got to give him a shot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have every right to be hopeful, but you got to become grounded to become a little bit more realistic, in my opinion. At the end of the day, it's a little too late. Congrats on your victory. Tua needed it, even though he didn't really look great. I mean, he had a few flashes, right? He could step up in the pocket, find Jalen Waddle wide open and broken coverage on the left sideline, right? I mean, he turned the ball over how many times? Twice. The defense won you this game. Let's keep it a buck. The defense was the reason why you guys won last night. You guys held the LA Rams out of the end zone the entire game. They really balled out. Matthew Stafford was under duress all game long. You guys contained. The only thing that the Rams had offensively was checking it down underneath, being able to pick up the first downs underneath. But the Miami Dolphins did a tremendous job on defense, and I think that's why you ended up winning this football game, because if your defense was not playing well, you would have lost, because the Dolphins' offense was not cooking either. So I think this game was a little different than what people expected. I was going and thinking it was going to be more of an offensive-driven game from both sides, where the offensive game was going to click for the Miami Dolphins. It's going to click with the LA Rams. And on that first drive, when you saw the Dolphins march on the field and score a touchdown the way that they did, that's kind of what we thought. We're like, oh, God, this is going to be one of those 35-31 type of games. But no, both defenses started playing really good football, and then the turnovers started happening. There was 3 straight possessions with 3 straight turnovers. Got ugly. But at the end of the day, it's not about how you win. It's about if you win. And the Miami Dolphins were able to get a road victory in primetime football. So, big one. Big one for the Miami Dolphins. Let's look at the playoff picture, because TD kept telling us that the Dolphins are 1 game back from the playoff spot. And it's not true. So I just have to remind everybody that TD continues to lie. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
In the loss column. No, it doesn't. You have 2 less wins. 2 less wins.
Yeah, but the problem is, Richie, we've played less games because we've already had our bye. A lot of people over the next 2 weeks are about to start having some major bye weeks.
So stop saying you're 1 game back, because you're not. You're a game and a half back. That's the difference.
Listen, we're in this. That's all I know. We're in this, man. It's not over.
You are technically ahead of the Jets. You have the 10th seed. The Jets are the 11th, and we still have a higher probability.
Yeah. Well, who's above the Dolphins? The
Bengals,
Colts. That's easy. Yeah, Bengals. So we gotta. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So we still gotta climb. We gotta get into that.
You're a game and a half. You're not 1 game back.
We got to get into the Broncos range. That's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right.
That Broncos L was big, by the way. for a lot of teams, including the Jets, but the Jets couldn't take care of their own business because if the Jets were able to beat the Cardinals, we'd be right there tied with the Colts and the Bengals at 4-6. But at the end of the day, we stink. So that's really what it comes down to. All right. So folks, if you guys are enjoying this episode of Wake Up and Ball, episode number 2, please do us a favor and hit the like button. And if you guys want to see more of this, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, man, because we're having a lot of fun here. Yesterday's episode was a lot of fun, and I feel like we have to continuously show everybody the love, show everybody the support. Hit the like button right now if you guys are enjoying it, man. Let's get into it.
Like button.
All right, so I do want to talk about the NBA. Now, we didn't update this graphic, but the Cavaliers are now 12-0.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have won again. Okay? They're 12-0. At what point are we going to start saying that they are the best team in basketball? I know you said they have to verse the Boston Celtics first, but then again, the Cavaliers last night, TD, I know you probably didn't watch it because the Miami Dolphins were on, but they beat the Chicago Bulls on the road.
Yeah. I checked out some of the highlights on the back end, which it doesn't give you the full context of the game, but yeah, they get another victory. Let's call it what it is, man. This team is just loaded with firepower. They can put points up. But here's the deal, Richie.
They're not the best team in the NBA, by the way. I'm just
I agree. And here's the deal.
But what do they need to do in order to start getting that? Because it's pretty impressive to start 12-0.
How is the defense?
Their defensive rating is pretty good.
And what I'm saying is it one of the top 5 teams in the NFL? Typically, that's what it comes down to. How is the defense? Are they one of the top, rated teams in the NFL? They're the best defense in the. Are you serious?
No. I don't know if this is. Is this the? Yeah. No, wait. Defensive rating. Hold on. Here we go. They are 9th in defensive rating.
Yeah, and where is Boston?
Boston is 6th.
End of discussion.
I mean,
that's what it's going to come to. You can outscore people, but when that juggernaut meets that juggernaut, we might have to do something, Richie. I think they play literally a week from now on a Tuesday or something like that. We might have to get in on that game together. I don't know, but that's going to be a real
What do you mean, you want to go to the game?
I ain't saying that. I'm saying we might have to watch it together. I don't know. We'll see.
Watch party on Wake Up a Ball watch party?
We might have to, man, and then wake up and talk about it the very next morning. But listen, this is a good start for them. If I'm not mistaken, I saw something since the 2015-2016 season. They haven't been undefeated to start a season like this. Keep it going. But at the end of the day, this is just helping them get out in front of the season. That way that they have the better chance of making the playoffs. It's teams like Cleveland that make me feel like, they're injury away from just flaking out. Like they need everybody to be healthy to continue to do what they're doing. Are they built to last past 1 or 2 players, getting banged up, Richie? And that's I don't feel as confident. I mean, they have a lot of good players on the roster, but I don't feel as confident. What I do love is, those towers. When you talk about Mobley and his co-partner, those guys, they dominate the paint. They do what they do. They're a wall whenever guys are coming into the paint. It's just a good recipe when you got the shooters and the guys who can penetrate in the paint and get them easy baskets. So they're a great team. I will put them in my top 5, but I am not going to sit here and make it seem like they're the best team in the NBA just because they're undefeated. Okay.
So I do want to keep a close eye on the MVP race throughout this entire season in the NBA. Right now on BetUS, you have Nikola Jokic with the best odds at plus 225, Luka Doncic plus 700, SGA from the Oklahoma City Thunders at plus 250, Jason Tatum's at plus 550. Who do you got winning the MVP this season?
It's a no-brainer. This is actually a no-brainer for me. Jokic is going to win the MVP again. Have you looked at his freaking stat line? 29 points a game, 13.7 rebounds, The assists are like 12, I think. And
He's
last week,
a massive triple-double.
yeah, triple-double. And last week, Richie, his stats just from last week alone, they were like 31 a game, 15 rebounds a game, 14 assists a game. Like, this is unreal. And you know what? It reminds me of 2 years ago or so when, Shaq and some other people, they were hating on him, saying, he doesn't belong to be the MVP. He doesn't have that dominance in X, Y, and Z. The most beautiful thing about Jokic? He's silent. He goes out. He balls out. He does his thing. He ain't getting into all the extra stuff, and he just keeps on balling out. And the beautiful part of it, he's actually doing it in the flow of the offense, Richie. He not forcing nothing. He not, it's go-to time. Let me get it. Oh, let me make my move. Let me go do it. No, everything is in the flow of the offense. Hey, that pick look good. You got the ball. Hey, they don't. I'm right here. Like, I ain't trying to be like, give me the ball. Like, you're talking. See, I love players like Jokic. Into the system. It reminds me of Jordan. You could do it in the system. You could do it in the triangle. You ain't got to be like LeBron and Freight Train and try to go do it yourself. You can get your numbers within the system and not force anything. That
System
is,
player.
but it's so amazing though to put up the production he's putting up within the system. System players ain't supposed to put up numbers like this. Great system players supposed to be 22 a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's an elite system player. This is unreal. This is unreal of a system player. He is the elevated version of Tim Duncan. Making all the right decisions and stuff better. I am telling you now, he's going to have a better career than Tim Duncan if he continues down this track. Man, you know what? A matter of fact, Jokic is the type of guy that if he puts up 20 years of this mess, he might end up being the GOAT. Nobody would ever say it. Nobody would ever say
He's
that.
Got to get him another chip or 2 or 4.
Well, but they got a good chance to keep on heading down that road and getting chips. But come on, man. This guy might have a career. I feel like Jokic is the type of guy that might have a career, Richie, of 20 years averaging what he's averaging. Talking Bill Russell type and all of that, man. I'm telling you, I love Jokic. I love you. And it ain't the most flashy guy. He ain't the superstar jumping out the gym, but you can't find me a player that's better.
Yeah, I mean, the league right now is undisputed. He is dominating the NBA, and he's the front runner. Now let's talk about the NFL MVP race, because this is an interesting one. I think that this past week has really elevated Lamar Jackson to be the front runner. The game for Josh Allen last week didn't really help. Patrick Mahomes is undefeated, so his name is always going to be in that conversation. Jared Goff, I think, kind of ruined his odds with 5 interceptions. So I feel like this is Lamar Jackson award for him to lose. What's your thoughts of the MVP race in the NFL? This one feels a little bit more you can actually talk about because, we're more than halfway through the NFL season. The NBA season just started. And I'm going to pull up the odds on BetUS now to see who exactly is the favorite here. So who do you got?
I'll say this, Richie. First of all, I want to back up and challenge you, okay? I don't think it's fair to say that Jared Goff took himself out of it because of the 5 picks. The good thing for Jared Goff is that it all happened in one game. It's not like 5 picks spread out in 3 games, which is a bad look. It all happened in one game. He is still top 5, in my opinion, as an MVP candidate.
His odds dropped a lot.
Yeah, they're going to drop, but at the same token, if he has the second half of the season just like his first half, he'll be right back up there. MVP watch. Oh man, there's so many players that may be very well deserving of it. I will agree that Lamar is the front runner right here for his 3rd MVP. But how about I introduce some sleepers that may be climbing the charts that could have a chance if they pick up a little bit of the pace. Could you see Kyler Murray being in that top 3 conversation?
Yeah, he has higher odds than Goff right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What about another guy? What if he comes back and brings his team back to win the division? Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is at plus 2,500. So here are the odds for the MVP award. All right, so this is the front runners. We have Lamar Jackson in the clear front runner at plus 115. Josh Allen second at plus 350.
I can see that.
Mahomes is at plus 700 in third place. And then outside of that, you got fourth place Jalen Hurts at plus 1,400, which is a weird one. Maybe he's having a better season.
Yeah, he is. It's low key.
Him and Jaden Daniels are tied for plus 1,400 odds. Kyler Murray at plus 1,600. Jared Goff is at plus 2,000. And that's really the people in the race. And then you got, for value, Joe Burrow at plus 2,500. I mean, in order for Joe Burrow to win, they got to win out. And he has to be playing like God mode all the rest of the season, which he has been low key. So that's really it when it comes to the quarterbacks and the MVP race. I don't really think there's any other players that's going to be in the race outside of the players we mentioned.
Let me see. Where Tua on there? He's not on there.
Why you got to bring Tua up in this?
I was just curious if he made it. If he made the top
he ain't making
20.
this. He should not be on the list.
They biased. But yeah, Lamar is the front runner right now. It's his to lose. But, Josh Allen just keep chucking away. But here's the thing. Josh Allen can win the MVP over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He can win the MVP over the next 4 weeks. When you look at his opponents, I think all quarterbacks is in the top 10 MVP race. He's going to be facing off against many of them over the next 4 weeks. So that's the gauntlet of their schedule. If Josh Allen can go 3-1 or something like that through that stretch and play great football in all 4 games, he can get up there, maybe right there with Lamar. And don't forget, Lamar still got a tough trek too the rest of the way. That division is pretty tough. And in Pittsburgh, we're also not talking about the fact that they haven't played a division game yet. So these teams got to see Pittsburgh.
That is so unreal that the Steelers have not played a playoff division game. Neither have the Bears, by the way.
Really?
Neither have the Bears. They're done.
Wow.
The Bears are done. Teddy with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. The first super chat of the show. Everybody give Teddy some donation hype in the chat. Nikola Jokic, top 5 center of all time, top 3 retired when he retires. I mean, you can argue that this is legit. If he continues to be on that pace, Nikola Jokic is doing something that we've never seen. He is becoming a unicorn in the NBA. Now, getting into some other discussions in the NFL, man. I mean, we talked about the Steelers. Why are the Steelers still underrated? People still underrate them. Somebody in the chat just said Steelers are frauds. So this is a perfect example of this topic, that people do not believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who's going to win the AFC North? Are the Steelers going to get through their division gauntlet and come out on top? Because that's going to be the deciding factor of the division for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In my opinion, they had a big win against Washington. They're in first place in the AFC North. TD, why are the Steelers underrated? Could the Steelers be a dark horse for a deep playoff race?
Well, the reason why the Steelers, first of all, they aren't a dark horse for a deep playoff race because they're legitimate candidates for a deep playoff race. Okay. But a lot of people just straight up believe they haven't been tested yet. You know that last week was their first test? Because playing the Falcons isn't a test. It's a good game, but it isn't a test. Playing the Broncos isn't a test. It's a good game, but it isn't a test. Same with the Chargers, Colts, Cowboys, Raiders, Jets, Giants. They got their first test against the Commanders. And they squeaked out a victory 28-27. The Steelers benefited from a lot of tune-up games early on to get through a lot of their stuff, and now they're going to go through their gauntlet. And the reason why they are so underrated is because they haven't faced anybody in their division yet. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Next game is Baltimore, then division rival Cleveland, then Bengals division rival. Then the division rival Browns again. Then you got the Eagles who are on fire. Then the Ravens division rivals. Then the Chiefs. Then the Bengals. Like, this is the gauntlet of all gauntlets. It really is. Like, am I wrong, Richie? This is the gauntlet of all gauntlets.
Oh, yeah.
You have, outside of the Browns, but it's a divisional opponent. man, you're about to be tested like no other. So the reason why they're underrated is because people want to see them win a few of those games first to solidify who they are. I don't know if they will, Richie. I think out of those 8 games, the reality is they just need to go 500. Technically, they can go 3-4 and make a wild card. So they're in the driver's seat unless they have a massive collapse. So that's why, they're going to be underrated until they beat some of those great teams. Nobody's going to really put the respect. They're going to, respect them, but they're not going to have them in a conversation of, Super Bowl or AFC Championship game.
Yeah, really for me, it just comes down to those division games, and I think that's going to be a really big test. And the matchup between them and the Ravens, number one, is going to be the test. I think that whichever team wins the division has the more likelihood to go on a run because you get that home playoff spot. You don't have to go on the road in the wild card round. So I'm still riding with the Baltimore Ravens to win that division personally, but you never know. Folks, we have a 200 like button goal, all right? We hit 250 likes on the first episode. So I'm trying to get this to at least 200 likes again. If you guys can do us a huge favor, simply smash the like button right now. We have 70 plus people watching live. Thank you guys so much for supporting Wake Up and Ball, the episode number 2. TD and I are really excited to keep this show going. All right, so if you guys want to show us some support, show us that you guys are enjoying this, a free way to do that is simply smashing the like button and subscribing to Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. We got a super chat from Lisselle. Brooklyn Nets got the W. There we go, Lisselle. There's your Brooklyn Nets. Who they beat? The New Pelicans in a tight matchup. Cam Thomas with the clutch 3. Congratulations. You beat the New Orleans Pelicans, a team that right now is terrible. So, yeah. Zion Williamson's injured. Again, shocker. But, Lisselle, appreciate the super chat. Good luck because they're taking on the Boston Celtics next. Yeah. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right. Now, another topic we need to talk about is these Chargers, man. These Los Angeles Chargers are just winning, and nobody's talking about them, which is why we have to talk about them. And I think it's because of their coach. I think it's because of Harbaugh. He comes in here and he's instilling a mindset, instilling a culture in that team that's felt throughout every single player. And it's just, as a Jets fan, I admire it because how one individual can come out there and be that much of a difference maker. Now, the Chargers had the players in place for this to work. They had the franchise quarterback ready, Justin Herbert. They had talent on the roster, but they actually shipped away a lot of their usual guys. They brought in new faces, new people, brand new running backs, brand new receivers, a new offensive line, new playmakers on defense. But they're 6-3, and nobody's talking about them. Nobody. Do you think the Chargers have what it takes to go on a run? Because we know that they're making the playoffs in the wild card. They do not have any chance to make the playoffs winning their division because of the Chiefs. But are they a sneaky team? Because there's always that one team that gets hot that makes this playoffs as a wild card team and goes on a playoff run. Could they be one of those sneaky wild card teams? You need to see a little bit more.
No, they're going to make the playoffs.
No. I mean, go like on a run in the playoffs. They're making the playoffs. I'm saying, are they a sneaky team to win playoff games?
My answer to that is going to be no. The landscape at the top of the AFC is so tough this year, Richie. Like, if you're a wild card you're highly likely going to have a first round exit. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The only chance to win the wild card round is if you get the 5th seed and have to face the Texans in the 4th seed. That's your only chance because the Texans haven't been their best version of themselves.
So you got the Bills beating the Chargers in round 1?
Yeah. I have anybody 1-2.
Would you tell Dan Mitchell that?
No, not at all. I have anyone 2-3. The second and third seed, they're gonna have an easy ride in the first round, in my opinion. Unless the Dolphins get hot and they make a higher seed or something like that, like the 7th seed or something like that. whatever teams in 6 or 7 is going to lose in the first round. It's a high probability of it because you're going to have Baltimore, Buffalo, those teams in those slots. Because I don't see the Chiefs actually the Chiefs will win the AFC. But yeah, the Chargers aren't making a run, Richie. It's that simple. They're just going to go to the playoffs, and that's going to be exceeding expectations. Yeah, they'll get bounced in the first round. Highly likely.
All right, so you got no expectations for the Chargers. Who you got making the playoffs as a 7th seed in the AFC?
The Miami Dolphins. No, I'm being
don't
serious.
Don't ruin this integrity of the show. Come on. It's wake up and ball. We don't want to be looked at as a biased Dolphins fan saying, yeah, the Dolphins are going to make the play. Come on.
I think that the Broncos are going to fall on their face, Richie. I think that the Broncos will fall on their face. They have the Chiefs they have to play. They have the Bengals they have to play. They have the Chargers they have to play.
Yeah, the Bengals are going to make the playoffs, not the Dolphins.
They got Atlanta. I think that they only have 3 wins left in them. And 3 more wins will get them to 8. And say they do beat one more team, that gets them to 9. So I think the Broncos will end up being the team that falls, Richie, and one of the teams down in the dumps, like the Dolphins or the Jets, they're going to go on a run, and they're only going to lose one more game, and they're going to get in. I truly believe it. Remember, the Broncos only have 1 less loss than the Dolphins. 1 less. And they've played 1 more game. So I know you're laughing about it, but I'm serious. I don't see the Broncos actually making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I don't hate that. But the Bengals will make it over the Dolphins is what you're missing. It's too late.
No.
You should have beat the Titans, TD.
No, the Bengals have a gauntlet. The Bengals got to play the Chargers themselves, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Twice. They got to play Pittsburgh twice. They got Denver themselves. That's easy with the Cowboys, Titans, and Browns. I mean, the Bengals got a chance. The Bengals do have a chance.
TD, you're telling me that you see 1 more loss on the schedule for the Dolphins. You got the Raiders, Patriots. Okay, let's chalk this up as wins. Okay. L against the Packers.
Okay, I'll give you that.
L against the Jets.
See, this is where we have a problem. No. In all seriousness, though, Rich. In all seriousness, I know I'm a Dolphin fan. You're a Jets fan. We're supposed to go back and forth. No. Seriously, I know we're supposed to go back and forth and talk about how
splitting with us.
But we know we're gonna sweep the Jets. We actually know, like, for real.
All right. Hypothetically, I'll give you that, even though.
Okay.
I'll give you that just for this, because even if you sweep the Jets, it won't even matter, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, you beat the Jets. You lost to the Packers in Houston. L. Against the San Francisco 49ers. L.
Don't do that. We could beat Houston. We can beat Houston. Houston. Houston haven't been that great. We could beat Houston.
What do you mean Houston hasn't been that great? What have you been? What have the Dolphins been?
Richie, we're coming on right now. We're playing better football now. The Houston Texans aren't playing great football right now. So we can beat Houston.
This is down the line. This is when they're going to get better and healthier. So in Houston, L against the 49ers, blowout loss.
No. That's at home. That's at home. We can beat the 49ers.
I don't care if it's home or away. You're versing the 49ers. They're going to wipe the floor with you.
They barely won the other day. Like, squeak past. We could beat Houston and the 49ers. We in, Richie.
Wow, you're delusional. Okay, you beat the Browns. Yeah. And then you hypothetical sweep the Jets. That brings you to 8 wins. I mean, you're not.
You gave us losses against Green Bay, Texans, and the 49ers. You gave us losses in all 3 of those. And that's where you're unfair. You couldn't even give us unfair? You couldn't even give us one of those wins.
Yeah, because show me the win that the Dolphins have this season against a winning team.
I mean, you're not going to get me to argue that, but we're playing better football, Richie, and we can beat the Texans. But
you haven't proved that you can beat a good team, so what makes me think you can beat the Texans, the 49ers, and the Packers?
We will.
We will. That's what you think. We will. Because all 3 of those teams are playoff teams. All 3 of those teams are competing for their division. All 3 of those teams are going to win playoff games. All three of those teams won playoff games last year.
What three teams? Like Houston is collapsing in front of our eyes.
Okay, the Texans still have experience. They can come on. They won a playoff game last year, something the Miami Dolphins haven't done in over a decade. The Packers last year won a playoff game, something the Dolphins haven't done in a decade.
I'll give you the Packers.
The 49ers went to the Super Bowl.
I'm not arguing the Packers, but 49ers coming to Miami, we can get them. Ayuk out and all that. Like, if they're full strength,
McCaffrey's back. Ricky Purcell's a stud. George Kittle, you can't.
McCaffrey is a shell of himself right now, man.
Man, you feed the delusion. You're ruining the integrity of the show.
All right, Richie. You know what?
You want to become delusional about the Jets now?
5 weeks from now. 5 weeks from now, you can be like, you were right. You were right. I didn't see this.
All right, the Jets are winning out, beating the Colts, bye week, beating the Seahawks, dominating the Dolphins, beating the Jaguars, home against the Rams, win, going into Buffalo, revenge, beating the Dolphins. We finished 10-7. Is that what you want me to say?
But you know what, Richie? I'm not even going to front. If y'all were showing any little promise as of lately, better play and stuff, y'all should beat the Colts. You should go toe-to-toe with the Seahawks. If you're a better team, your talent on that roster should beat them. Guess what? I told you before the season that the Jets have a better roster than the Dolphins. If y'all were playing up to your potential, then I would be worried about getting swept. You're going to beat the Jaguars. The Rams, you saw what happened last night. So if you were better than us, you're going to beat them. And even if you lost to the Buffalo Bills, well, no, you got no room to lose. Yeah, y'all ain't going to make it because you're going to lose to the Bills. You better hope that the Bills ain't playing for nothing December 29th. So
they won't be. I mean, they may be playing for the first seed, but
y'all should have a shot, a huge shot. But y'all been playing such trash football that nobody gonna give you that shot. I see, like
so have you. So the Dolphins. You guys have played nothing but trash football.
Yeah, I get that, but the point is we've been playing better as of late. The momentum is starting to build. Y'all just flaking, man. Y'all look bad. We haven't looked bad in the last 2 weeks, Richie. We've been playing better. That's all I'm saying. We're starting to come on.
Man, this guy right here, Tony Dow.
Time will tell, man.
All right, in other news, we have breaking NFL news. The Chicago Bears have fired their offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. Caleb Williams has been regressing, and the offensive coordinator for the Bears have been fired. What are your thoughts of Caleb Williams? Because he is trending towards bust territory. I know it's his rookie season, so we can't really say he's a bust yet, but not looking good for the rookie, coming off getting beat by the fellow rookie, Drake May.
I mean, this kid has talent. He just needs to be developed the right way. Coaches can ruin players, and players can ruin coaches. In this situation, I do not think that the player ruined the coach. I think that the coach ruined the player. You got to make things easy for your young quarterback. See, the problem is I feel like they took Caleb Williams and threw him out there and tried to make him Patrick Mahomes day one. And then you get all messed up in the head when you see, Jaden Daniels over there doing what he doing. And you start to say, we got a guy that could be doing that and more. And then you try to put him in that position. No, coach this team the right way, have a sound game plan, have an identity. Stop asking Caleb Williams to bail you out. Now, Caleb Williams got some work to do, though. He got some work to do. He got to be better, too. But at the end of the day, this ain't a panic mode. This is just an adjustment because they don't like what they're seeing offensively, and they don't believe that the OC was making it easy for Caleb, in helping, cater to his development, not just throwing him out there to the wolves and saying, go do this and go do that. It's just the wrong approach. You know who he is right now. He's a good player that you want to develop. And we know he got the talent, Richie. So, it's all on the coaches right now. You've invested too much. And I don't think it's Caleb. Now, again, he got to fix his own problems. He got to fix some stuff. But look at Harbaugh. I bet you Caleb Williams, would be at least 2 times as good if he had a Harbaugh in some structure.
So, this brings up a good point, a good segue into the next topic, because we have another fellow quarterback first overall pick last season who was written off as a bust. But is he saving his career right now? Bryce Young. Bryce Young was written off as a bust. He was benched. Now he has, back-to-back wins, I believe? I mean, Bryce Young looking pretty good. He's looking confident. He's smiling out there. He's happy. Is Bryce Young saving his career with the Carolina Panthers? Because I feel like right now, you saw what he did against the Giants. I know it's against the Giants, but this kid has been so bad to the point where there's been no hope. And he has back-to-back wins against two bad teams in the Saints and the Giants. But that could spark some confidence. And I think that's the biggest problem with Bryce Young was his confidence. And this could be something really, really good for himself, just to believe in himself. And it's just good to see him smiling, good to see him making plays. And he was making some impressive throws. I mean, I was very impressed. I was. People were picking the Giants because they got an elite front seven. He's got no chance. He went out there, made some plays. I'm not saying like, oh, he's the franchise quarterback for the Panthers now and he's going to live up to the first overall pick hype. But I think he deserves to be talked about for what he's done so far the last 2 weeks based off what we've seen leading up to those first two games. So everyone in the chat, let us know your thoughts about Bryce Young.
Bryce Young is not saving his starting quarterback career. He's reviving his opportunity to be a backup somewhere. To be brought in to compete, but eventually be a backup. Richie, the reality is they got 2 wins off the strength of the team, and he didn't do enough to blow the games. That's all this is. Bryce Young, first victory, 171 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Next game, Giants, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions.
Better than Tua last night.
What do you mean?
Tua had 2 turnovers. How many turnovers did Bryce Young have?
All right, so why we got to bring Tua up, Richie?
Because you have to have the same energy. You're hyping up Tua, and now you're talking about a quarterback who was better. And now
I did not hype up Tua. I specifically said the team survived despite Tua's first half play. But Tua did make some nice throws in the second half that helped the team out.
I just got to check you.
That's all. But Bryce Young, he ain't reviving nothing, okay? All he's doing is saying, hey, I could be a backup. Somebody need to take notice. I could be a backup. That's all he's doing, okay? And you know what? Maybe later down the road, 2-3 years from now, he gets this awakening and becomes something, manageable, a low-end 27th ranked quarterback or something. Maybe that's in his – I don't know. But I'm not using these last 2 games to say nothing about him reviving his career. Back-to-back wins, congratulations. I was happy to see him motivating his teammates. I saw some leadership. I saw some nice little intangibles in that regard. But outside of that, man, keep doing what you're doing, Bryce. Keep developing yourself. And just keep on fighting to be in the NFL because maybe one day it'll click for you to actually be the guy.
So you're a hater of Bryce Young? You don't believe in him?
I ain't got nothing against Bryce Young, but what is there to hate on?
Miami Dolphin quarterback, maybe. You never know.
Stop the cap. Man, you know what? You might be right, Richie. Knowing this organization, you might be right.
I'm saying, man. Folks, we're trying our best to at least get to 100 likes. I mean, the goal was 200 like buttons, but we haven't even hit 100. So at least let us get to 100 likes. If you guys are watching right now, smash the thumbs up button. This is episode number 2 of Wake Up and Ball right here on Roundtable Sports Network YouTube channel. Expect us to be live every day, Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Grab your coffee on your way to work, whatever the case may be. We'll be live every single Monday through Friday right here on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. It's been a lot of fun so far to get into business. Another topic we have to talk about on the other side of that game is Daniel Jones. Should the Giants move on from Daniel Jones because he was the player that lost to Bryce Young? I don't know what's going on with the New York Giants from the perspective that Brian Daboll continues to throw this guy out there. They paid him $40 million. They're 2-8. They don't have any talent besides Malik Neighbors. I mean, they got a promising running back, but you lost to the Panthers in Germany. I don't know what the Giants are doing. And obviously, benching Daniel Jones right now isn't going to do much. Obviously, it's going to have to be an off-season move where they trade him, they cut him, and replace him. But what the heck are the New York Giants doing by still throwing. Like, why did they even go into this season with him as their starting quarterback? I know that they're financially committed to him, but man, what do the Giants see in Daniel Jones?
Their jobs.
I mean, it's crazy that Brian Daboll and Joe Sheen has tied themselves to this quarterback to be good in order to save their jobs. To be honest with themselves.
Their jobs is what they see in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is bad. Daniel Jones kept getting in the red zone, and I'm like, oh, look at the Giants. Because, I picked the Giants to win. So I'm like, all right, here we go. And he just kept throwing it to the defense. Like your accuracy in the red zone is the worst ever. You got him on the out route. Why are you making him reach back for the ball to intercept? Like, you can't make this up, Richie. Every time they got down there, like, he would drive them all the way down, Malik Neighbors, blah, blah, blah. And he would just give them the ball. It was embarrassing. I'm like, why did I pick them? Man, listen, man. You know what? Daniel Jones is going to be a really, really good backup for somebody next year. He's going to be and you know what? He could be a 20-year backup. That's exactly what he's supposed to be. That's exactly what Daniel Jones is supposed to be, a backup quarterback that's really good.
So we saw two backup quarterbacks going after each other in Germany? Bryce Young and Daniel Jones?
You did. No, I'm serious. Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback. Oh, that's exactly what he's supposed to be. And he'll be a solid one for a team to be like, yeah, I like what we got here at the backup quarterback position. Listen,
the Giants paid him, bro, $40 million annually. That's what they did.
The Giants stupid. The Giants are dum-dums. Listen, next year he's a $42 million cap hit with only $22 million dead cap. They are going to cut him because they'll only have $11 million dead cap next year and $11 million dead cap the year after. They're not going to take no $42 million cap hit on a guy like that. They could save $30 million by cutting him. Cut this man, and then guess what? The Giants are in the driver's seat. They might just be very well going to get one of those top quarterbacks too.
They better. They definitely should.
So yeah, I listen. They ain't doing nothing with Daniel Jones. They're not. I can't even believe they're going to eat the $48 million cap hit that they are eating this year for him. Ridiculous. So Daniel, and you know what? I'm saying this, and I'm not even joking, Richie. I would not be surprised if Daniel Jones is in a Miami Dolphin next year, because the Dolphins are going to fool everybody by actually getting a starting caliber quarterback as their backup for Tua for injuries. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to go after they're not going to do the Skylar Thompson type thing. They're going to go get a starting caliber quarterback
Bryce
as
Young,
the backup to Tua. And I already know what's going to go down. So all right. I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of the quarterback position, what the actual is going on with the New York Jets quarterback position? What is the future of the Jets? And chat, you guys let me know because I'm still trying to figure it out. Please hit the thumbs up button as you come on into the show. This is Wake Up and Ball, brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook on the Roundtable Sports Network, live Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. EST. But the New York Jets, man, I'm struggling to figure out their plan next year, and I think we're going to have to see this season play itself out a little bit more, but it's the Jets are financially committed to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams next season. I think it's up to Aaron if he really wants to still play, but it's going to be really difficult for this Jets franchise to convince the Jets fan base to buy back into a hype of Aaron Rodgers returning next year. Unless they draft a QB in the first round and we go into the season knowing that we have our hopeful franchise quarterback sitting and learning behind Aaron, and we're going into next season with that mindset, with the new coach, new regime. Aaron Rodgers knows that he's just here to kind of be that stopgap, similar to Jacoby Brissett and Drake May, but instead it's Aaron Rodgers and whoever we draft. And we have a quarterback room that consists of Aaron Rodgers, a rookie QB, and Jordan Travis. Now, I don't know what that means for Tyrod Taylor, but that's kind of how you could only sell me on Rodgers returning next year. Because if they go into next season without drafting a QB, and it's Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor again, and Jordan Travis, who I like, that's going to be really difficult to sell to this fan base because what the actual, is there evidence that we can believe that this team can win with Aaron Rodgers right now?
I think Aaron Rodgers will play next year. They're not going to let this one season be the end of the Jets. They're going to go into next year, and this is what they're going to chuck it up to. First of all, they're going to hire a new coach. So,
do you know who the rumor is right now? That's
Bill Belichick.
Around?
Bill Belichick. Who is it?
It's a rumor, so I definitely want to make sure that it's a rumor. John Gruden.
Rumor. It's a rumor, man.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Y'all might end up with Belichick next year.
No, okay, that's another rumor.
I'm just saying y'all might end up with Belichick, Richie. Because it's just a 1-year situation. Next year is going to be the 1-year situation. Belichick ain't trying to coach forever. He's just trying to get him. He's just really trying to get his
Jets.
Win. I'm just saying.
Stop.
You never know.
Stop.
You never know, Richie.
I do
you
know.
Never know.
And that's not happening.
Why not?
Because Bill Belichick does not want to come to the Jets. It's that simple.
Why not?
Why would he?
Why wouldn't he? He's trying to get his win record.
They can't win.
Yeah, but with Belichick, y'all.
Bro, he hates the Jets, dude. He hates this team.
Man, Belichick will have y'all winning games.
He hates the Jets, dude.
Even more reason why he would come.
Oh, my God. It's not happening.
But here's what I'm saying about Aaron Rodgers.
Mike Vrabel or whatever. Yeah.
They're going to get a coach, and the reason why they're going to roll next year, because they're going to chalk this year up to needing a new coach, and now we can develop chemistry for the offense with Devontae Adams in the offseason. Have an offseason with the crew. The way it should have been 2 years ago almost. They've been wanted Devontae Adams. Now you'll have the chemistry and training camp and everything. And I'm not saying that means anything or it's justified, but that's how they're going to look at it. They're going to do one more year with Aaron Rodgers.
Are they going to get a rookie QB in the first round is what I need to know.
No, because
who are they drafting?
No, you're not. I don't know. I think, honestly, Richie, this is what you got to look out for. They could be drafting one of those stars replacement in the first round. They could be drafting one of the stars. No. I ain't talking about the quarterback, though, because you're not going to get one of the top quarterbacks. You're not going to get him.
Straight up.
They could be drafting Sauce Gardner replacement. Who knows? They could be. I'm just saying, one of the stars on the team, they could be drafting their replacement because you got to make sure that you can save some money for the future too. Quarterback isn't it because you're not going to have a top 5 pick.
The quarterback is it, and it will always be it. The Jets should be drafting a quarterback in the first round until they hit. Because I'm sick of not having it, man. I'm sick of not having a QB.
You might be wasting a draft pick if it's not if it's not one of those top guys in this draft. You might as well wait the next year. You might be wasting a pick, but you got one more year with Aaron Rodgers, man. And I think that they'll draft a player
then
that
Jordan Travis is him.
Great.
Then I want Jordan Travis the starter next year. Then how about that?
Over Aaron Rodgers?
No, I want him to be the primary guy to just give me some hope, man. Look at FSU right now. They stink. All Florida State fans are wishing they still had Jordan Travis in college because he single-handedly brought that college football team to relevancy. Winning. Yeah. He's a winner. Give Jordan Travis a freaking burn.
And the Gators wish they still had Tim Tebow. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, give me a break. Come on now. Well,
y'all future is bleak, man. It is what it is.
I know. The future of the Jets is in the reins, and it is not looking good for us. But at the end of the day, I'm excited to get into the bye week after this week. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Wake Up and Ball, episode number 2. If you guys enjoyed this, please do us a favor. Simply smash the like button right now for us, okay? Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get this to over 100 likes. All right, we'll be back live again tomorrow morning for our episode number 3 of Wake Up and Ball. How do you liking this show so far, TD?
I'm loving it, man. Waking up early in the morning, having some good sports conversations, man. It's always the way to start your day. So, again, Wake Up and Ball with Richie and TD. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We love y'all, man. And hit that like button.
Hit that like button on your way out. Appreciate you guys so much. Salute to the chat. We'll see you guys next time. We are out. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of Wake Up and Ball on Roundtable Sports Network. Much love to you guys. We'll see you later. Peace out.
Peace.